What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait, I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Finally, we're back on TikTok. Oh my God. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. Welcome to, I can't see anything. My fucking screen is black as always. I don't know what's happening. I got to get new equipment then. You know, I have no idea what's happening. We got Landy in the back waiting. I've been trying to get all this shit up right now. But again, it's episode 676, sponsored by Midnight. Shout out to Midnight. We'll have Charles on this week. Not this week, next week. We'll have Charles on. We'll talk about everything that's happening with Midnight. I also want to talk about the Clarity Act, obviously. That's been really big. And also Trump has come out. I think Trump heard me. I think he heard the last two episodes, and he didn't want to disappoint me, so he's gone out there and he said the banks better know their role and shut their mouths. Cake Wallet sponsors the show as well, and the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown and for the David Gokshin brand is Polymarket. We got more in the works. We're making announcements. Probably make some announcements by the end of this week. Also, I'll share a few things with you in terms of social media partnerships and partner programs and all these good things that are happening for the DG brand. And also, there's something in the works. Don't want to jinx it. Let me see if I can turn this on. I'm putting my head like this. Let me see if I can turn this on. Hold on. Let's see if I can turn on my goddamn TV. It looked like I got a broken neck. Hold on. Let's see, because Landy's waiting. Landy's waiting in the back. He's like, "What? Why am I here? What am I doing?" I could have put Landy on, though. I could have just put Landy on. What the hell is going on? Honestly, man. This is so goddamn annoying. Work! Work with me, please. Work! Work with me. I'm asking you to work with me. I'm asking you to just work. God damn it, one of the monitors turn on, please, so I can see myself. Please. God damn it! You know what? This is not fair. This is not fair. Absolutely not fair. Just wait with me for a second, guys. It's live. Landy's in the back. He's getting frustrated. He has like 19 other shows to do, and here I am, you know, still trying to figure shit out here. I'm praying to God. God, please. God. Oh! There we go. I said, God, please, and it came on. God is good. God is good. I can see myself. Oh my God. Look at me, look at me, look at me. All right. Let me see. Why can he ask him about what the fuck is going? What is this? By the way, I want to say, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but FOMO app is pretty dope. I'll say that FOMO app is pretty dope because, like, if I feel like shit coining, it's not a bad place to go, man. It really isn't that bad of a place to go. I should put my link up there, man. I should put my link up there. Should. Hold on one more second. What the hell is this? I get these crazy ass DMs. Landy, I promise I'm bringing you on. Ask him. Listen, you can go ahead. I have no clue what the fuck you're talking. Why am I reading the goddamn comments? Hold on. I need to get TikTok in it. TikTok! I see you! I see you! I missed TikTok. I love you motherfuckers on Twitter, but I missed TikTok. I really did. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened, okay? But they put me in the goddamn penalty box, but I am back. I am absolutely back. Like John Wick, when John Wick, the first movie, he's sitting there. Oh, I'm thinking I'm back. I'm back. Absolutely. I missed you guys. If you are on TikTok right now, you better, what do I say? Share this goddamn show with your entire family. Tell your family right now. I don't care if they're working at IHOP, Burger King, and McDonald's, serving people the new Big Arch or whatever that shit's called. I want you to tell them right now. Tune in to The Breakdown with David Gokshin immediately. And I want to see a bunch of hearts, man. I want to, by the end of this show, we better be 100,000 K in hearts, man. I'm telling you right now. And I don't know what's happening right now, but somebody turned on the heat. Okay, and the heat automatically turns on here. And I am dying. Okay? I am dying. Okay. Let me calm down. I'm a little bit emotional because I see my TikTok people here. And I'm absolutely excited. Also, shout out to everybody tuning in on Kick. I can't see anything on Kick, but shout out to anybody who's tuning in on Kick. Shout out to the Kick management staff. Okay? We'll do some really cool stuff on there. Proud to be a part of the Kick partnership or partner program. That's really cool. But let's bring in Landy because Landy's been waiting, and I appreciate Landy for waiting. Let's bring him right in. Landy, I'm hyped today. I feel like I got my balls back, man. Like I feel not having TikTok, okay, made me feel like I had no balls. I'm being serious with you. I felt like my balls were missing. I felt like I would, actually, I felt like they took me away from my family. My family on TikTok, who has been nothing but supportive. Huge numbers on TikTok. And I feel like they put me in the penalty box. By the way, shout out to Tech. Shout out to Fran for moderating the TikTok chat room. We're only going higher. We're only going higher. Just like the markets today. You woke up today and what you saw was green. Bitcoin up 8% or some shit like that. Running. Bitcoin running into the green.
Yep.
Running. You
It's
must
doing
be
well.
excited. Everybody, you didn't need Viagra today. You didn't need Cialis or Viagra. You didn't need none of that. Landy, good morning or good afternoon, I should say, or good morning or whatever. The markets are green, Landy. The markets are green, and the United States of America is beating the shit of out of Iran. What's going on?
Well, the markets are definitely green, and headed to some of the upside targets that I've talked about prior. Now starting to break out of the tighter range that we've been in for quite a while for Bitcoin on the lows here. Had a nice, beautiful buyback in traditional markets off of yesterday's low. And traditional markets are working their way back into the range. We've got gold and silver headed back to the upside, and we actually have oil still in and around its highs, but it hit it's spiking the highs and then coming back down kind of continuously in a very important area between around that 74 to 78, which is something that I've been talking about on the videos that I do for the network every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we are hitting all of the targets.
That's right, you sexy little puppet. That's right.
Now,
we are hitting all targets. If you guys
All
do not
targets.
believe in men's astrology, you need to go ahead and start watching Landy Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The TA champ is in the house. I'm hyped. I got my audience back.
No Walmarts here, only Targets. So, yeah, they're all getting hit too, all over the place.
Okay, so you've been obviously, and guys, really do tune into Landy's program at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He does. I joke around with Landy. We got inside jokes and shit like that. But at the end of the day, he is one of the most electrifying TA guys that you will find on social media. He doesn't hype you up. He just tells you what he sees, and that's all that you ask for. Somebody that comes on here, looks at charts, and just tells you exactly what they're seeing here, along with the data and then information that they have in front of them. Let's go ahead and obviously put the chart on the screen here, and Landy will go into this. Landy, what do we have here?
Yeah, we have a rally to resistance overhead. So one of the big things is you're going to see across every single timeline that the macro low is in, the bear market is over. And I'm not saying don't enjoy the green days, definitely enjoy the green days. But we are rallying to a retest of, prior areas of interest overhead, and the setup is for a rejection. Now it's all about, seeing where this kind of goes from here. We're breaking out of a tighter range. After breaking above the highs at 72.2 of this range, I've been looking for around 74 to 75. That would put us up towards some major moving averages, 55 period exponential and a 50 period simple. This is just looking back and averaging the candles together in two different methodologies, not to get too deep into the weeds with that, but that would be the initial area overhead that I'd be looking for. The big thing to understand about this is we had a large volatile move down, and then we've moved into a consolidation, otherwise known as a compression. And now we're moving back to the upside. Nice structure here off the lows. We even swept the actual close open on the lows down here with that low at 62.5. And now we're headed up. And if we close anything like this, especially, anywhere here or higher, I would be looking for a test to, 74 to 75 and around these major moving averages. That would also put us in and around this low side structure over here, which looks a little messy here, but that's right around that major macro monthly higher low at around that 74.4 to $75,000 region. We can still rally above there as well. If we get an extension of this rally, I would be looking up towards 78 to 80, which would put us right at the low that was lost that kind of led to this big move down. So this is around 80,000 to 80,500. That is fair game. And we could even see Bitcoin try to work its way into the mid to low 80s from there to actually test some of the daily and weekly structure that was developed up here in this range, which would put us around, in the mid to low 80, 83 to $86,000. $86,000 being this key area on the low that was lost in this structure here that led to the test of the actual lows at 80 and then the failure. So while it is very exciting to see some nice green days and we need a relief rally in Bitcoin and the wider crypto markets, just understand that we do have to take like a defensive stance as we approach these important levels. So 74 to 75, 78 to 80, and then that mid to low 80 region. I did want to bring this up as well, and I'll get rid of some of the mess of lines here for just a moment and just take it down to the naked chart. And this is we're coming off of a major area. Before I take this off the screen here, we're coming off of a major area in and around the 200 exponential and 200 simple. You've probably seen it all across your timeline. For the weekly time frame, it's really straightforward stuff. This is an area of interest that you would be looking for a low to be set. If we get a low set this week, it would come on closes above 71,380. You'd want to see the daily, though, maintain the breakout above 72.2 on any kind of retests. Now, if we get rid of some of this stuff here, this mess of indicators that I have, and just look purely at this structure, this is a downtrend, right? And the nothing really changes unless we were to see a close back above $98,000 here. Okay, this would be the character change on the weekly, and this would be a trend break. So it'd be a downtrend break. Now, if we set a low, we can of course watch for something like that. That would be a character change on the weekly with a higher high, and then we would need to see this this lower low maintained to set a higher low or equal low. So there's a few different ways that this could play out, and that would be setting a higher high or breaking the downtrend and then coming back down. And this is just an example, not what I'm projecting, but setting a higher low and then taking out that higher high. That would be a reversal setup. Those take time. More likely, because of the setup that we currently have, I would start looking for lower highs, and then we evaluate the higher low equal low structure for a potential trend reversal setup that breaks a lower high. That's the more likely outcome statistically. And then we also have to be aware of the bearish scenario, another lower high that leads to a lower low. So the big thing here is that it is exciting to see things rallying. And the potential to set a low possibly by the end of the week. That's what we would want to see, is a weekly low being set, not just the dailies going and hitting resistances and then coming back down, but we want to see the low on the weekly set. So look for 71,380, and you want to see that daily breakout level maintained on any retests around the $72,000 area. And then we want to see kind of where it rallies to. Again, that's going to be 74 to 75. Above there, you're looking between 75 and 78, and then 78 to 80 being a key area, and then mid to low 80s from there. So basically, you're anywhere up from like 83 to 86K is fair game. And of course, I'm going to track this all throughout the week. Of course, later this evening, after market close, I'm going to upload another market update and take a look at where today's close comes in. And then on Friday, I'll be prepping for kind of what to look for on the weekly. But just understand, exciting times. We love seeing lows set. We like rallies, but remain defensive. in any kind of positioning. If you are a trader, if you are an investor, there's no need to FOMO, because no matter what happens from here, in order for it to turn into a bullish structure, it would need to get a downtrend break or set a higher low, right? Even if it gets a lower high, it would need to set a higher low. So there's time to evaluate position, all that kind of stuff.
Landy, I want to ask you this question because I know you're not a bull tart like me. I'm just
Mhm.
bullish. Even if Bitcoin's at $1, I would be bullish. So that says a lot about me. But um, I watch your videos. I listen to you break down all these charts, the markets. You seem right now to be a little bit more positive on us moving upwards.
Yeah,
Like,
I
are
mean,
we? Because everybody's been
potential's
talking
there.
about, and this is not you, but everybody's been talking about 50, 40, 30, 20. I've been on here saying, you know what? Great. I will DCA all the way down to these numbers if they were to ever happen. But people were talking about 55, 45, 25. Do you see these numbers in play now with the way
Yes.
that the market has reacted?
Yeah, as long as we're still in a downtrend, those downside targets are absolutely viable. Um, Now, the like 58K, you're going to hear a lot of 58 to 60, right? Because that's the low down here. And then we have a major moving average. We also have a volatility level of interest right around this area as well. So 58 to 60 being a key level. And then if we were to dip down below that, there is a weekly closing structure that was closed inside of the swings here, that's around 55, right? And that's in between another major level, third standard deviation, which is just a volatility metric for Bollinger Bands here. You know, below 55, there's 48 to 50, right? So those are absolutely viable targets. But you know, we're testing up, right? We're testing up to what's called a lower first standard deviation. This is one standard deviation away from a basis band or 20 simple moving average for the for the TA nerds out there. All that really means is that we've expanded to the downside. So we've had a volatile downside move. This is a downtrend, and we have to look for the downtrend to continue until proven otherwise. So the proven otherwise would be either taking out 98 or creating that lower high structure where we get a lower high that's more local. So say it just comes up here, you know, let's say 80, just as, you know, spitballing here. Um, and then coming down and creating some higher low structure or equal low structure as it relates to this low. It could even sweep it. And then if it takes out, you know, a lower high, then it's, you know, it starts to change structure. That's where things actually change on the wider, longer time frames, right? So I would just be aware that those targets are still viable. So you don't, you know, you don't think you can't say just because we've got some good days, we're rallying out of this range, like, hey, we're definitely that's the low and it's all bull from here. Um, that's just not how price structure works. That's not how markets work. It's not how auctions work. We're looking at a live auction, right? So I would be looking for more likely a lower high, you know, whether it be, you know, more local 74, 75, or start pushing into the 78 to 80 or mid to low 80s or even higher, right? Things can even get into the upper 80s to low 90s, but it doesn't do a whole lot on the longer time frames like the weekly. It's still a downtrend below 98. So yes, those those targets are still viable to the downside until we get a character change in at minimum a weekly, with either breaking 98 or, you know, putting in a lower high and holding the lows. And what I really want to impart upon, you know, the audience is even if we see things like just rip to the upside. Let's say we break, just hypothetically, let's say we break the downtrend at $98,000 and it starts pushing into 100, low 100K region. Understand that price will come back down to form a higher low or equal low as it relates to the last lower low for an actual valid trend change or trend reversal setup. So you can sit and wait, especially if you're an investor, and you can wait for that to present itself, that higher low on a longer time frame like a weekly to gauge positioning. Like you don't and you should already have areas of interest that you want to position in and or have already positioned in, right? You should have a plan for these things. If you're going in with no plan and you're FOMOing, you're probably going to get wrecked and or be very, very sad because when price comes back down, you have to wait a long time for it to go back up.
Do you think a lot of people are going to be sidelined because they have these crazy ass numbers in their heads, like 20,000, which I keep on seeing on the timeline?
No, because I suspect that many of those people will adjust to the market that are saying things like that unless they are just really married to that idea and ignoring the chart. Like especially for those that are looking at charts and who understand how price action moves, how auctions work. If they really do truly understand that, and we start to change structure, I don't think that they're gonna be on the sideline. I think that retail will be on the sideline because retail is always the last to hear about it because, they're not paying attention to charts, they're paying attention to the news, and the news is the last to report on things shifting, right? They'll be out there like, "Oh, look, Bitcoin is absolutely ripping to the upside," and then what ends up happening is, a lot of retail comes in, they get in the market and they end up being exit liquidity. They go, "Oh man, I missed it," and then they end up selling the low. I mean, that's just the way that psychology and kind of the media infrastructure around markets has worked for a long time. So if people are watching your show today, they're far more informed than anyone that's watching any mainstream media or even paying attention to the navel gazers on the timeline.
Welcome to the breakdown, episode 676, sponsored by Midnight. Also, we got Cake Wallet and Polymarket. Polymarket, the official prediction partner for the DG brand and the breakdown. Yeah, I do. Look, I'm a bull tart. I will say that I'm always bullish on crypto.
I
I'm bullish.
I mean,
Obviously, I'm bullish. I'm hella bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin to me is more than gains, right? The numbers are cool here. Like obviously, you're
yep.
charting here. You're breaking down data here, and and I know 100% most of the audience that tunes into my show appreciates this, and I'm sure people that tune into obviously your spots on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays appreciate it.
Yep.
But for me, Bitcoin is so much bigger than just gains.
Yes.
There comes a point in your life within this ecosystem that you start to understand what Bitcoin really stands for and what it really means. A lot of people won't. A lot of people will say, "Dave, what the fuck you talking about?" But you'll get to that point. You'll get to that point, and you'll understand. Okay, I get it now. Um, let's go to the war real quick, unless you want to show something else here. Um,
We
do you
can talk
think?
about it, and I'm gonna show something that I'm sure everybody's paying attention to, and that's oil,
So I wanted to
right?
ask you, oil. We can get into oil as well. Uh,
Yeah.
I was going to ask you though. Do you think the numbers have gone up uh, because of everything that's happening over in the Middle East?
Well, I could tell you that, months ago, back in the in the fall into winter, I was talking, on my videos and on various stages, and I think you and I even discussed that oil hit a major area to the downside, especially when we were talking about like, I don't remember how many of these are just you and I talking behind the scenes or or me invading your show at some point. Um, but oil was getting ready to make an upside move, and it just was the catalyst. It was holding the lows between that in a major area to the downside around that $55 to $56 level. And, the overhead resistance was between 74 and 78. Yes, there is some areas of interest in, 80 to low 80s, all the way up to 85, but, it was very likely that it was going to run that area. Um, and, of course, conflict is what ended up being the catalyst, but it was easy to project on like the weekly. This was a clear bottoming for oil on the weekly, and now we're heading back up aggressively against the macro trend to the downside here to spike a key area overhead. This would actually tell me that this is going to come back down in a very, very volatile way, likely soon. It could still push further up. But considering everything that's going on with the war and markets, I mean, markets like war, right? They do, right? And when you have capital flight to safety, it typically is going to go into um, something that is going to generate more, right? So you're looking at like bond markets and interest bearing items that you can get into. But then what we've seen here is in the bond markets, we've seen participants fleeing into, trading out of the bond markets, which is why we have yields rising right now. Um, and, trading back into the dollar and buying indices and equities and commodities and crypto, right? Like um this was going to be predictable. It's just a matter of everyone looks for like, oh, nobody and this is what I hate, David. Across the timeline the past couple of days, all I've seen is no one could have predicted this. And I like I've been talking about this for months and tracking price action. What do you mean nobody could predict this? How about the same people who say no one could have predicted that Maduro was going to get snatched at bed out of yeah, nobody could have predicted that, but we did park our navy outside their nation for months,
Exactly.
right? Who could have predicted the conflict in Iran? I mean, we've been in the Gulf of Oman forever,
Uh,
it seems like. And we've been negotiating with them since last year. Mid last year is when talks really started to happen, but people have, they only remember what they barely remember, I should say, what they ate this morning, right?
I
So,
and people were watching that, and you were talking about a lot of people were talking about it, but
yeah.
that's the problem. Like the people that actually study all this stuff are well positioned in the markets, right? You listen, markets react on news, right? We can agree with that.
I mean, all right. So what you're gonna see is that charts will tell you that something is going to happen before it
Yeah,
happens because money moves
correct.
first and then you hear the news later. And what the news does is it provides volatility to the markets. So, like, we put in a structural macro low in oil at 55 on much longer time frames. It was going to head up, and now we get the volatility gets added to that move that was already in progress in this case, to the tensions kind of rising at the beginning of the year. We saw oil move up to the 65 region and hold the 60s. It was just a matter of, you know we know that this is likely going to head up to, the 70 region and then start heading towards the mid to upper 70s. That's something I've been talking about and many have been talking about, and it's just a matter of when is that going to kick off. And the news provided the volatility to get it there, right? The setup was right there in front of us the entire time. Just like the setup, like for Bitcoin here, has just been a range. It's been sideways for, nearly a month, right? Back here we made, the last red candle down here that's kind of been the primary range here at 62 100, 62 200, that opened in the 70s, the mid 70s, where we're currently trading now. This was back on February 5th, right? We're a month out from that. And it was either like, okay, we're either going to break to the downside, and everyone would have been like, oh my God, see, we hate war, so it's going down, right? Because the news broke out, and of the breakout happens that coincides with major conflict. And in this case, everybody's like, well, what's the reason? Well, the reason is that markets wanted to bid this. That's the reason. The reason is that when you see a global reordering of money and liquidity moving, we see that it has to go somewhere. And at this point, we saw it starting to head into the equities and indices off of the lows. That then spills over to Bitcoin, right? We had a beautiful buyback off the lows in traditional markets. And if they were going to remain bullish, likely we were going to see a bid towards the top side and a nice breakout for Bitcoin as well. News provides the volatility. The setups are always there for you to read well ahead of time. I mean, that's how I called 123 to 125 at the highs months
Here he
beforehand.
goes. Here he goes.
I'm just gonna hey, hold on. I'm gonna break my arm real quick while I pat myself on the
Here
back.
he goes.
But it's easy if you understand what to look for. If you don't understand what to look for, find people that you are following. Follow David, follow me, obviously, that understand what's happening in markets and they can actually take a look at the chart and go, you know what? These are areas of interest that I would be interested in bidding, or if you're a trader, in selling. The setups are always there, and you're gonna see those setups on the charts well before any news hits. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but money moves first. It always does.
Respect. I want to thank, obviously, this is what you can expect every single day at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I really do hope that, you know, the networks that we're on, and coming soon now, we're on Kick now. We'll be on Truth Social. That's in the works right now. There's a reason why I tweeted out something today. And on X, I had to tweet out something about Truth Social. Shout out to Truth Social. But there's a lot of things in the works. We're so close to having Instagram and Facebook on here. So it'll be a big audience. A lot of people talking and chatting and looking for information and just looking to understand how the markets work and looking to participate in the crypto market, obviously in the crypto ecosystem. And you can definitely, and I've said this a lot already, but you can definitely tune in to Landy's shows Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for a complete breakdown of the markets. I would suggest you tune in, learn something. You don't have to agree with everything. Okay. You don't have to agree with everything, but Landy's been pretty good, man. Landy's been pretty good. And not just today, been pretty good for a very long time. That's why they call him the TA world champ. You know what I'm saying? He got the belt. Landy, you know I appreciate you. God bless America. God bless crypto, and God bless Bitcoin.
Well, thank you, David. I do appreciate it. And I'll be back tomorrow with hopefully some more good news on the upside in markets. We'll see.
Oh, you know, selfishly, before you go, I hope it goes down so I can buy more.
I mean, I kind of want to see the mid to low 50s, to be quite honest. But that's that. You know, I'm not going to cry about it pumping from here, though. It's like, hey,
You know, I
if
think
you,
before you go, I
yeah,
will say that people were not only waving the white flag, they were switching careers, whether they were going back to McDonald's or they were going into AI and being AI
everybody's an
influencers,
AI influencer
or
now.
people are going to work for Apple and sell Mac Minis. We had the capitulation stage, I think, to where people just absolutely gave up and said, "I'm done." So shout out to, listen. It could still go into the 50s. Landy's alluded to that. There still could be that event, but I think at that point we're done. If it were to go there, I think we would be done at that point. I think there would be a lot of buyers ready to buy up. I think there are a lot of buyers waiting for that area. But you know what? I kind of learned something in this industry a very long time ago. You know, if somebody says 50, it's usually 60. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. You know what? You know what I'm talking about. You know, last time
Yeah,
we bottomed
last,
out around 15,005 or some shit like that, 15,002.
yeah.
People were expecting 10,000 or 7,000. I remember all the conversations, and I'm like, at some point,
I
it's
had
always off. Every cycle is always off from the number that the population is putting out there.
I got into so many fights with people because they did not like that I was calling for between 15 and $16,000 for the macro low. And what's interesting about that, because I have videos that I made about it and live streams that I was doing at the time, I caught a lot of crap for it. And one of the things that people would often say is there was no reason why it would even stop there. And I was like, maybe you should watch and learn a little bit about why it would stop there. And the what I actually do like, David, that this cycle, what we've had is a cleaning of house, because there used to be a lot of TA grifters on the timeline that would purely put out like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of the majors analysis that wasn't bad. It was not great, but it wasn't bad. And then they'd bait people into that analysis, and then they'd start posting garbage that they were being paid in to pump it and dump on their audiences. And that went away. And we had that still persist throughout the bear market. And when the bull market turned, those are the same people that were calling for 8 to 10K, 12K, yeah, over and over and over again while we were headed down. And when it turned around and they were proven wrong, they disappeared
That's-
and they are no longer with us. And I'm very happy that they are no longer with us.
You know, it's not a. I'll say one thing before you go. I'll agree with this cycle has taught people a lot of lessons, and one lesson that I've seen that has been learned is that a lot of people can't trade out here. A lot of people have absolutely no game plan. They were very confused during this cycle in particularly. They were very, very confused. They did not understand it. They allocated their positions into positions that did not move. That I would say altcoins are still in a bear market, right? A lot of people I know flipped out of Bitcoin to go into altcoins because they wanted to make a 50x and then take that money and go back into Bitcoin and double their positions or triple. And right now that hasn't worked out for them, you know. So hopefully, listen, I I hope all this works out for everybody. The biggest
It will.
thing in all these markets, or in our market, I should say, in the crypto market, people make millions of dollars, but unfortunately, they don't ever take out. So it's the truth.
That P&L is not realized.
They
Yeah,
never, it's always unrealized gains. People will show you the screenshots. They are up 10 million, 15 million, 20 million. And people want to show that, hey, either they want to show I'm a holder, or that it's, obviously the greed kicks in and they don't know how to take profits because they think it's going higher and they're trying to catch the top. And unfortunately, the round trip. But you could do the round trip, but they don't actually get points for it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I see a lot.
P&L
A lot of
cards.
people make millions, but they never realize them, and that's probably
Well,
sad. That probably hurts more than anything.
well, I also think that a lot of them were so sad during those times in which they could have taken profits, and the reason why they didn't is because those P&L cards were fake. They just made them
Could you know?
through P&L
Listen,
generators.
I agree with you, but we know people. Like we know people. I ain't gonna shout out the people, but I know
Yeah,
people that were up millions of dollars,
some,
and they
yeah.
refuse to take out positions or refuse to scale out and put it into Bitcoin or put it into
Yep.
stable coins. I don't know, and earn. You could have put it into stables and earn yield and shit. I don't know. You could have done so much. But a lot of people just sit on these things and they think things go up forever. The market has a way to humble you, man. That's really it. The market, you
Yeah.
cannot beat the market. You can participate in the market and you can take advantage of the market, but you'll never beat it. Like you're not gonna outsmart it. So,
Exactly.
you know, bottom
Exactly.
line.
And that I gotta say this because the one of the biggest things that I think is going to change here is I think that people will make it in these markets because we are moving forward in adoption worldwide, not just in the United States when it comes to crypto. But I think I think that this particular um, bull to bear cycle will hopefully teach the current participants, and I am confident that it has taught a lot of people. I've had a lot of good conversations with people, and I'm sure you have too, that now are looking at this and going, I know what I need to plan for now. And I also think that no matter what, you're all getting crypto exposure through your portfolios anyway. So you're going to be a participant whether you like it or not. So get on board and self-custody your crypto. That's exactly what you should be doing. Don't let money managers nickel and dime you through their products unless their product actually offers some real upside and advantages over just holding it yourself. And you should, no matter what, hold it yourself anyway, even if you're going to diversify. Understand that you're not diversifying into that's not true diversity if you're holding and then you go buy ETFs and you get other projects like products rather that are interest bearing and stuff like that. Understand that's not diversification. But it is diversification of that holding that you have, right? And you're going to get it either way. So you might as well hold it yourself. If you're not participating in the markets, pick your levels, be confident in them. Don't worry about it. Just go in and get those levels and make sure that you're holding it self-custody, multi-sig, all of that good stuff. And beware of the scam texts, as I'm getting some literally right now from Coinbase, my Coinbase account.
I love how all these things come from the other side of the world. The numbers are always from like +63 and all this stuff. Guys, watch out for that. By the way, there's a lot of phishing attacks that are happening. Guys, absolutely watch out for all this shit that's happening. Like, they are getting a lot more clever, these scammers. They're sending people letters through the mail where you can go ahead and QR the shit and they will steal it right off of your phones. So be careful. Get a Ledger, get a Trezor, get some sort of device that is not attached to your goddamn phone number, okay? Not attached to your iCloud. Don't screenshot your goddamn seed phrases and shit. A lot of you guys need to
private keys.
Private keys are out there, bro. Like, what's wrong with you guys? Anyway, Landy, guys, catch Landy, follow Landy, okay? Follow Landy on X. He's more active on X, obviously. Follow Landy on X. He's also on TikTok, and he will be putting out his first video of himself dancing to the Renegade. I heard he might be doing something with Charlie D'Amelio. I don't know. Speculation out there.
So,
thank you, Landy.
I can confirm. Thanks, David. Take care.
Landy, ladies and gentlemen. Landy. What a guy. What a guy who sticks to his shit. He won't rearrange any, like, he will stick to his calls. That's what makes Landy good. Guys, give him a follow. Give Landy a follow. By the way, TikTok just approved our appeal, so there you go. Shout out to everybody tuning in from Kick. I don't even know, honestly, I wouldn't know who's tuning in yet, but I got some big plans for Kick. There's a lot going on. I appreciate everybody supporting the brand. I honestly did miss TikTok yesterday. I absolutely missed TikTok yesterday. But right now, let's go to a commercial break real quick. Cake Wallet, the sponsor of the second hour of the breakdown.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's where we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
We're back. We're back. Welcome back to The Breakdown, episode 676. I'm fucking happy. I am absolutely thrilled to have all the networks working, even though TikTok will continue to give us warnings about. I have absolutely no clue why am I getting warned for what? I don't even know what I'm saying. We do think that it has something to do with the commercials that we are playing. They think they're unoriginal, meaning that it's kind of like we're playing a show, right? It's kind of like we're playing the AP and what the AP is reporting. I think that's what's getting confused there. Hopefully, there's a fix that comes about. Tech try to help me, but there is no option that I can find to go ahead and put some sort of language in there stating that it is a commercial. It is absolutely crazy. But TikTok, I gotta say, right now, but TikTok, you might have competition because we got Kick coming in. We're working something with Truth Social. We got a lot of things working here, man. And we got don't count out Twitter, man. Twitter's just down right now. Twitter's down on their luck. Okay, they don't want to talk. The Twitter crowd, I'm gonna say one thing about Twitter. They never talk inside the chat with me, or they're unable to. I don't know honestly, I really don't know what the fuck is happening. If you watch past episodes of The Breakdown, we would have like people just running in here, and then the next day there's people just listening or people that can't go ahead and chat. It looks like Restream is updating their entire platform. I'm in Restream right now. The graphics, the UI, the UX looks a little bit different. Hopefully that solves some issues. Look, by the way, if you guys want to know what I am doing in the shitcoin world, or I would say in the memes, I would really say in the memes, you can go ahead and follow me on the FOMO app. No, I'm not paid for any of that stuff. There's no sponsorship there. Maybe one day, I don't know, but not right now. But you can follow me on there. You can easily find my username. I went ahead and dropped it in the TikTok chat, and I dropped it in where else did I drop it? I don't know. Did I just do TikTok? No, and I dropped it on Twitter. I think I dropped it on Twitter as well. But you can find me there and see exactly. You can actually watch me and get notified every single time I go ahead and go into a new play. So, hold on. Did you start the live? No, see, like I'm not starting the live from Fran. I'm not starting the live. This live doesn't start from the TikTok studio. It starts from Restream, which multi-streams to all the social media networks that I'm on. So that is the problem that we're facing, is that there's no tab to go ahead and make that statement as a paid promotion or paid partnership label. So it sucks. It really sucks. So we're gonna have to fight TikTok until there's some sort of fix here. Now, extremely happy about the markets. I'm extremely happy where the markets are. I really am. I'm extremely happy. I'm happy for the people. You're getting to enjoy the markets right now. And again, Landy was on here. And he told you, hey, there still is a possibility of 50. I'm in the camp of, when people are all hollering about 50, it's usually $5,000 to $7,000 more in terms of where we stop. So let's say hypothetically speaking, we've already met those areas. I'll say 58. I'll go with 58. 58,000 absolute bottom if it were to go and happen. But I feel like we were ranging in the 60s this entire time for a good old time. It felt like eternity. And now we have this move up. You should be excited. You should be absolutely excited to see Bitcoin go up. the altcoin market will recover. I believe that. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I believe the altcoin market will recover. The real altcoins will recover. And I still believe that the meme economy will do well. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I'm talking about the real memes. I'm not talking about the tickers. I'm talking about memes. Talking about memes with actual teams behind them, memes that make sense, memes that have been around before crypto, memes that are used in your comment section. Those I believe will absolutely come back. They will. They will make an absolute comeback. And hopefully this time you don't hold it and take screenshots. Don't take screenshots, take profit. At 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll get Alexander on to talk about everything that's happening in Iran. All right. I still want to talk about what's happening there. It's very important. For me, it's absolutely very important. Donald Trump is doing a hell of a job. I don't care what anybody says. Donald Trump and his entire administration, we have a leader that is going out there and he is trying to end the war with Iran. We have been, and I agree with this, we have been at war for a very long time. You guys think this is war that has just come along 4 or 5 days ago. We have been at war with Iran for a very long time. And Trump is aiming to end it. Trump and Israel are aiming to end this war with Iran. You cannot have these monsters have a nuclear weapon. I don't know how many times I can say that. You cannot have these monsters hold a nuclear weapon. It will be the worst scenario for everybody, not just the United States, not just Israel. I'm talking about the entire world would be at Iran's mercy if they ever were able to build a nuke. Period. I don't care what your stance is on Israel right now. I don't care what your stance is on the United States of America. I don't care what your stance is on Trump himself. I want you to stop being a Democrat for a second. Stop being a Republican for a second. Independent, Green Party, Purple Party, Yellow. Put that all aside. There is a country, Iran, that if they would have got a nuclear weapon, they were able to build one out. You know, in your heart, they would have absolutely no problem pressing the red button and launching them off and causing complete disaster. So regardless of your party affiliation, you should support this move. Now, it's easy for me to say also, I'm going to end this on this, even though we might talk about it further in this show. I get it. I'm sitting here in my studio. I am live here, live streaming, commentating on the situation that is happening. I am not boots on the ground. I'm not putting my life on the line right now like our military is. I understand that. I don't like war. I don't know how many times I have to say this. War is the last resort. So here's why we're here right now. Trump has tried to negotiate with Iran multiple times. Iran did not want to negotiate. They did not want to negotiate with Trump. They didn't want to negotiate with Obama. They didn't want to negotiate with anybody. They were fine. But as soon as intel came in, obviously, showing that they are very close to building out a nuke, and that didn't come from just Israel, because I know everybody wants to just blame Israel for everything, like Candace Owens wants to blame Israel for everything. At the end of the day, somebody had to make the move, and that's the United States of America. What's very disappointing is our allies weren't allies. They weren't standing side by side with the United States of America. And that was sad. Only now, when some of their properties have been hit. I'm not talking about the Saudis or anybody in the Middle East. They have stood with America. They want to go to war to go ahead and end Iran because Iran has been detrimental to their region. They want to see this happen. Do not think for 1 second that they do not want to see Iran's entire, I'm not talking about the people either. I'm talking about the regime. They're happy about the regime being, what is that, 90% eliminated? They're happy about that. The prince, the Saudi prince, came out and stated, the crown prince stated, hey, man, can't stand that regime. They are the problem. So yes, our military is putting their lives on the line, and I appreciate them. Without the military, we wouldn't be able to sit here right now and have these conversations. You wouldn't be able to see me live within my studio, looking into a camera, talking into a microphone, talking about these subjects. Okay, so it's easy for me to go ahead and sit here and talk about all this good stuff. They're putting their lives on the line for us, to protect our lives, protect your families, protect the freedoms that we have in the United States of America, protect the free world. So yes, I don't want wars, but this one right here, this is one to end a war that has been going on for decades. We have a leader, whether you like him or not, but we have a leader that is leading. And decades from now, once your blinders are off and you sit back and you assess the situation, you assess history, maybe just one day you'll acknowledge Trump did or does love or did love America at that point. Loves America, loved America. I don't want to talk past tense, but you get where I'm going with this. And he was willing to do everything possible to protect it, to make it prosperous, to make it healthier, and bring back common sense. By the way, crypto. A lot of you guys ask me, hey, Dave, what are you buying? Like besides Bitcoin, Ethereum, all this stuff, Algorand, Hedera, all this, all XRPs, Ethereum. Dave, what are you buying? Now you can go ahead and watch. Now you guys can go ahead and watch. Do you guys want the link or no? TikTok, do you want the link? Do you want the link to see what I'm getting into? Do you want to? Because I'll post it up again. You know what? Let me post this up, and you guys can go and follow. Hold on one second. Let me get it real quick. How do I do this though? And how do I do this? No, this is not it. How do I? This is crazy. I never can figure out. Can't figure it out, man. Oh, there it goes. Okay. There you go. I don't know if I should put this on Twitter. Twitter's toxic. Like, I'd rather not have anything to do with Twitter. Here you go. Posting it up here on TikTok. No, I don't have a link tree. I don't have a link tree. I should have one. I think Alexander is. It might. Oh, I have 140. Yo, it seems like every single time I talk politics, TikTok explodes in terms of viewership. Like every single time I talk about TikTok, I mentioned Trump being one of the greatest presidents of all time. TikTok explodes, and you have liberals, Democrats, Republicans, MAGA people, everybody coming in. By the way, did anybody see this emotional moment that Alex Jones and what's his name, Fuentes had yesterday? Looked like they were so emotional. They were crying. Oh my God, Trump has turned his back on us. What are you guys talking about? What's wrong with you guys? Fuentes talking about he's going to vote Democrat. You guys should watch this. This was I can't play it because Fuentes is banned on every goddamn network. The only place I can actually if I wanted to have a conversation with Fuentes, the only place that I can actually have one on is probably Rumble, maybe Truth Social. I don't know, or X, but they won't let me have a conversation with them anywhere else. I don't know how to post links on TikTok. Is there a way to post a link on TikTok? I don't know how to go about that. Let me see. I don't know how to go about that. You know what? Now I can edit this. Let's see. I can edit this. Let's see. Should I? All right, look. You go to my bio. There you go. Look, this is what I'll do. Go to my bio. I'm going to leave it in my bio just for the show. Let's see. Let me see if it works. Okay. You can go to my bio right now. There we go. Go to my TikTok bio, and you can go ahead and click that link. Don't worry, I've already tested it, so you will not get, fished. Okay, that's not what I do here. Obviously, I'm respectable here, man. Come on, what are we talking about? I'm a respectable person. I got a huge brand. Why would I ever do anything to hurt anybody? You can go on to TikTok, my profile page, click that link, and you can go ahead and sign up. Okay. It doesn't cost you anything at all. Zero. You can just look and participate. You can watch me trade. Like, you can literally watch me trade. How about this? How about we do this? I just got an idea. How about I use the FOMO app and trade my way to $1 million and then maybe $5 million? What would that? Hold on. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you be interested in me trying to do that? To try to get to like 1, 2, 3 million? To trade my way there, to find whether it's memes, utilities, or trading Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I can do that on there. Would you guys be interested in me doing that? All right, so we'll do that on FOMO. We'll do that on the FOMO app. Okay. Somebody said there's a delay. There's no delay. There's no delay here. Everything is working perfectly fine. If you have some sort of delay, you should check with your internet provider. Make sure that you're paying your bills. Make sure that you got the fastest service possible. Make sure. We will get to that, though. I'm interested in doing that. But right now, we got Alexander that's going to join us. And we're going to talk about the situation in Iran right now. I've been waiting for this. I know he's busy. I probably got him for only 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm going to make the most of it. Alex,
Hey,
what is
how are
going
you?
on? It's
So
good to see
sorry.
you.
I do apologize to everybody. They just contacted me also, and they told me I was late. So obviously the reason behind it was just like back to the meeting. I do apologize. Glad to see you again. As I promised, it will happen. And quite excited to be here. I'm at your service, sir. And also,
I'm
just
happy.
to
Don't
start
worry about it.
real quick, to start with this, that I'm very saddened, heartbroken by the basically death of our 4 beautiful members of the United States Army. Also, many lives that have been lost in Israel. But also very happy that Khamenei is gone forever, for good, for the rest of the board. Yes, sir.
When you're watching mainstream media report about this, and most of mainstream media is very liberal, what are your thoughts?
They're stupid. they're flat out stupid. They thought President Trump is not going to do it, and he was a man of his word. He done it. He done a fantastic job, like super fantastic. Like it was beyond. I mean, I knew it obviously, so I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know like if I'm in a liberty to actually explain it. But like for the most of the people that know me and like see me live basically on Space, they like heard me like speaking English and whatnot, and with the help of so many other people, we were able to achieve these. And obviously, President Trump was man of his word. But like mainstream media, as always, they're ignorant because, like I said, like in your previous show, they do not want to give President President Trump basically a break. Not even that. They don't want to give him a break. They don't want to give him like any credits whatsoever. As soon as like President Trump started the campaign, what happened? We have like Kamala Harris came out, like tweeted something, just put a video out there. Hey, yeah, President Trump should not actually attack like Islamic Republic. What about Obama? Obama give him like billions of dollars like worth of assets and money to be able to basically kill their own people, which is us and my brothers and sisters, and also kills lots of like Americans. And this is like devastating. And it is, well, I mean, it is devastating for me because for me, it's very shocking to see Democrats that back in the day when they were actually, there was like some patriotic symbolism in them, but there is none right now, like zero sympathy, zero empathy with like staying to the fact and truth. The truth is President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu done a fantastic job, bombed the crap out of Islamic Republic terrorists. They decimate them. We are in the fourth day, and over 80-90% of their like firepower is gone. So I believe by the end of this week, there won't be like almost like any missiles left for them to shoot at like any countries, whether they're Persian Gulf or like in Europe, which they actually targeted Cyprus. If you like consider Cyprus as a European country, I don't know what liberal is going to say about that. But anyway, again, sorry, I'm gathering my thought as well. I was running to my car to be like your show. I do apologize.
No, it's all good, and I appreciate you making it here. I want to ask you. Well, we know mainstream media. Obviously, most of it is owned by Democrats and liberals who every single time there was a CBS reporter that was trying to report on how happy the Iranian people were in America celebrating the events that have been taking place. They told him not to report on that, and he goes, why not? So the mainstream media has tried everything possible to put a bad spin on this, and even CNN has been forced to report on this news in terms of how happy the people are. There have been Democrats who obviously are, their families from Iran and they're Iranian themselves. They've come out and they've said, you know what, I didn't vote for Trump, but everything that Trump is doing, he is liberating us. And at the end of the day, it's up to us after that to unite and, take over our country, a country that was beautiful before this current wicked regime came in and absolutely destroyed it. So I
would like to add something real quick. On Austin, Texas, that a reporter came out not obliging actually and not taking the order from like the news. Iranian people went to him by hundreds of thousands, made a comment to him, thank him for doing the report, and stay to the right part of history. And that's what matters, man. Like, I think like everybody's, it really does matters to them, to every single one of them, to see the truth. And they were doing the YMCA dance, the beautiful dance that everybody's were doing. Also, I was just like one of the very first people that when actually President Trump, under his real Donald Trump, made that comment about like Iran after the death of the Khamenei. The very beautiful part of it was like they recorded a video, they risked their lives, they sent it to me, and they asked me, Alex, please put this under the comment of President Trump. And I posted it. I think over hundreds of thousands of people watched it. That actually they're doing the YMCA dance, and they were like, I do apologize for my French. They were like, thank you very much, President Trump and Bibi. Keep fucking bomb these motherfuckers, mullahs, and keep doing what you're doing. It was very, like, from bottom of my heart, I get goosebumps even talking about it. It is very brave. They're holding, like, a piece of basically, I think, I don't know. I don't even know what is it called. I think it's it's not a paper, but it's just like a cardboard, I assume. They have it in their hands, and there is a writing in it. Obviously, the quality is not that great because it's just being sent over like very, like minimum amount of like internet connections. But man, oh man, this is the most beautiful things I ever seen, and I was there to basically be the person who gave out that news and also make that post for the rest of the world to watch it. For me as Iranian, it's a very proud moment. I think for all the Americans who believed in President Trump, who thankfully voted for President Trump, they knew it from bottom of their heart. He's going to be the achiever. He's going to be the one person basically who's basically a stick to his words and do what it needs to do and basically get it done. And he's keep doing it, and he's keep winning based on what he says all the time and delivering it. Also, since we talk about Austin, Texas, I would like to add something. After White House actually posted about like people of Iran celebrating all around the world, there's like two things that you have to see it like vividly on that video. One is our beautiful lion and sun flag, which it belongs to most of the people believe like, that's actually basically belongs to Pahlavi dynasty. Not so true. It's been actually a flag of Iran for a long, long time ago. And also, but we believed in it. We loving it because it's representing our old Persia, and that's quite beautiful. Also, the second thing that you see in the videos that they handpicked it is actually the Prince Reza Pahlavi, or basically we call it, as we always say, King Reza Pahlavi. So those are all signals. I think the beautiful signals there. I'm just like pointing at him to make it beautiful, and I think it wouldn't have been like greater than this. I think the last time we talked about it, and I'm still keeping actually holding my promise dear to my heart that I'm going to invite you, and also I'm going to get you basically interview with our King Reza Pahlavi. It's on the way. It's on the work. So give me some time. He's quite busy, but it will happen, and hopefully your viewers can see it and also enjoy it as well.
I'm looking forward to that too. I wanted to ask you, Alex. I'm happy for you too, Alex. I want to ask you this: what's the sentiment that you're getting from the people in Iran right now? You have the reports that are coming out. There's two types of reports coming out. One, you have obviously our administration, the ones that I listen to the Trump administration. They're saying that, hey, we're doing a great job. We're winning out here. They haven't even seen what we're ready to do next, type of thing. Then you have another side of media which is saying that the United States of America and Israel, obviously predominantly, it's the two countries that are doing this because the allies are too. I was about to say a word, but I don't want to get kicked off of TikTok. Actually, I'll say it. They're too pussy to go ahead and join in this type of fight. And I feel like they're owned by, I don't know who they're owned by, maybe China and stuff, but that's another point. But the people on the ground there, they're watching this, they're seeing this. Do they feel like it is becoming very close to where the United States?
That's what they believe in. Yeah.
Just completely,
wipe them out.
Away? Are we like, I don't, let's say not even a few, are we 2 to 3 weeks away from completely taking out this horrific regime and allowing the Iranian people to go ahead and bring in and usher in a new era with a whether it's a temporary leader or with whatever it is, with an administration that comes in now that will actually lead the people to the promised land?
Yeah, so let me address that. Starting by CBS News, they made actually post. There was I think they get approval and disapproval of like this war so far. If it's like within the weeks, I think it was like about almost 80%. Don't quote me, I don't remember it exactly, but I think like 70+%. So I'm rounding it up to 80%. They were like, feedback was positive. Also, if it gets like 2 months, the approval was less, and also years that I disapprove it as well. Not even me, all the Iranians, even like Israeli people as well. You have to consider like there's multiple countries are involved in this, and also Persian Gulf countries. We love them, man. No issue whatsoever between us and them. And I think everybody's gonna take a side of relief, and they say, oh my God, like everything is gonna be smooth. Like they're gonna do business. We're gonna do business and keep it clean and nice over there. So, based on that approval, based on the information that I have so far, I think by the end of this week, I would say Islamic Republic terrorists, they're not going to have like any missiles left, almost no missiles left. So I've read basically General Dan Keynes, which I'm very, very proud of to see him in charge, and also Brad Cooper, that I do symbolize him a lot. Basically Pete Hegseth, that he lives in my heart. Like these three people, most of the American people don't understand it. You need to have a gut. You need to have basically a tattoo of literally kafir or infidel on your arms to understand such a thing. Because if you say infidel in front of the Muslim, you're gone and done, brother. So out of this matter, I just want to address something real quick and tell you guys and your viewers. I believe, based on the information that I have, like in people in Iran, they believe also that if the bombings continues like the way that it is, which is in I believe, second phase, and there is going to be a third phase, it might come like by the end of the week or like starting next week, it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy. The biggest, baddest bombs coming that way. Here's the fun fact. I received a message today from my beautiful, basically followers from Iran when they get connected. They were saying, "Don't worry about us. Keep fucking bomb these motherfuckers." I swear, I'm gonna send it to you. You can translate it yourself. It's from the message, and also I have plenty of videos that show you. This is so funny. Like even for me, that I'm a huge fan of like military operations, but like seeing it as whole. Technology and the bravery that is happening by all the militaries that is happening, I would say I die for like military of US and Israelis both together, because they're doing a fantastic job. 4 days. Don't forget that 4 days. We're talking about Islamic Republic terrorists that they have like 8 hands all around the board, and then they were just like hammering everybody, doing like terroristic stuff. But I think, in my opinion, and based on the information that I'm getting, yes, the General Dan Kane and Pete Hegseth and President Trump, they're absolutely ahead of the schedule. I think they, wink, wink, their estimation and guesstimate was about like 3 months. This was my take. Like, not for the whole operation, but the first phase of the operation. Obviously, all the operations have like 1, 2, 3 phases. But this is my understanding as well. So I think it's going to be mostly over by the end of this week as far as the missiles and everything else. And I think by the start of next week or end of next week, we're going to see, some of the basically terrorists coming out and try to do some stuff, and then we can take care of those with the help of others as well.
Alex, I appreciate you coming onto this show. I really do. I'm hopeful. Hopefully, we can get you back on once we absolutely dominate and win here.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It would be the first show, I promise you. And I'm really happy I've done it with you. I've got so many others requests. I'm sure you've seen my face like the other shows as well. But like this been my favorite show, because asking the right question, I believe, like from the right people, It's going to help all the viewers to understand why we're doing this, why it matters to us, why it matters to the United States of America, and to us as Iranians that wanted to actually go there as a troops. So many people told us, hey, why don't you guys go there and fight it up for your own? Actually, 26,000 of us signed a letter, sent it to President Trump, asked them nicely to create a path for us to go there and fight of our own. But we've been denied. And also, we send the same letter to our king to actually get the respond back. We know he's not going to be with this because he doesn't want to see more bloodshed. The only bloodshed that we want to see is from their part, not our part. And I think that is the whole reason behind it. But to the people who are concerned that basically their military is being involved, that so many lives are brothers and sisters. They're like my brothers and sisters, like American troops, Israeli troops, that we love them, each and every single one of them, that we know they're doing sacrifices. We wanted to thank you on behalf of all the Persian people. I wanted to thank you, every single one of you. And in the future of Iran, we're going to thank every single members who lost their lives and also who's been involved in this huge operation. I cannot thank them, every single nations, enough for providing us help and hand to destroy this regime of terror.
You know, Alex, I want to say, for all the things that we have done in the United States of America, we've gone to, war, or we've had operations where we've freed people or we've helped countries to free themselves. I've watched the Iranian people. I've spoken to Iranian people, and you can tell they are so proud that they actually give a shit. They care about the military. They absolutely deeply care about the U.S. military. They care. They acknowledge that our military can go out there. They can lose their life. They feel empathy. A lot. I've been in politics a long time. Like, I haven't got that a lot. But
you've never seen it like this. I know that. I know that because here's the thing. So
for our country. I'm anti-war. I don't want war. I hate war. We would love to go ahead and negotiate at the table, but you can't negotiate with a terrorist because
absolutely
there's no negotiations, and war is always the last resort. But I, obviously, I sit in the studio. You sit in the car. You said, "Hey, listen, 22,000 of us are ready to go ahead and fight," and I understand that. That's your country. That is your country. You're willing to go ahead and sacrifice yourselves. Same way I would be willing to sacrifice myself for the United States of America.
I would do the same thing. Like I said before. Yeah, like I said before. Yeah, like I said before. Sorry.
For America, the love that you guys show for America, the love that you show for our troops, to know that they're going into hostile situations here. What Trump is doing right now goes against everything. Mostly every country has given him backlash over what he's doing, but he is going out there and ending the war, not starting one, but he is ending a war and taking out a horrific regime that has done horrific things to its own people for the last 4 decades. To see this happening, and it's appreciated. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I would say I would do the same thing. I would do the same exact thing for United States of America. Whoever attacked United States of America, it's my second home. Like, you literally mess with us. Every single one of us Persians, like, who came here, will conquer our life to have it like, better life, better future, be able to become a doctor, like engineers, and top in our rank to become somebody that matters to the society and able to create and be productive. We're going to do the same thing. If anybody decided to do the same thing, we're going to actually defend our second home as well. My second home is always going to be America. There's not going to be a doubt about it. The reason that I've actually talked about our troops, because I have a very, very massive respect for every single one of them for what they're doing. And we're just trying, at this point, we're trying to see if we can find a way, all Iranians together, to send the flowers to their family, thank every single one of them, because they're sacrificed their lives for every single one of us around the world. But again, since we showed it, like, the Persian culture is absolutely different. We give flowers to the police officers. We actually take the trash out from from the streets of like Toronto, in LA, in London. We've done that. Nobody's seen it before. We give everybody's hug. We celebrate. We dance with everybody else. Uh, we just want to do the same thing as well. We make a huge differences that already my fellow Persian compatriots already sent flowers to President Trump, already sent flowers actually to Mar-a-Lago, already put flowers in front of the embassy of Israel in Athens. So, and those videos like exist. All you have to do, you have to just like simply search it. And these are our culture that we would love to show other people. The future of Iran is going to be, I would say, before 1979, 100 times better. Thank you very much, David.
Alex, I appreciate you coming on. I can't wait to bring you back on after this all is said and done. The United States of America, along with obviously Israel and any other ally that is participating, we will see victory 100%. Victory will be ours.
Thank you very much. God bless the United States of America. God bless our troops. God bless Israel. And at the end of it, as always, Javid Shah. Thank you.
There you go. That is Alex. Alex, thank you for joining us. Alex, what great spirit. I think there's a misconception of, I don't think a lot of people know about the history of Iran. I don't think a lot of people know about the Iranian people. I really don't think a lot of people know. You're not well versed or educated in that culture, Persian culture. I am telling you, I've sat back, I've talked to, let's say, Alexander, I've talked to others. They are proud to be in America. They are so thankful. They are so thankful for what America is doing. They are so thankful for what Trump is doing and the administration right now. To end a war that has been going on in Iran for such a long time. And a war that Iran has started. It's good to see. And I hope obviously that this ends within a week to 2 weeks. That we can usher in a new era for Iran. That we can be partners with Iran. The United States of America and Iran be partners. That the people, the Persian people, get their land back. Get their lives back. Get their culture back. I'd love to see that. Again, I am against war. If you go back to all my podcasts, every time that I've spoken out when it comes to war itself, I am against it. It's the last resort. But when you try to negotiate with terrorists, it's not a good ending. You will never get anywhere negotiating with a terrorist. Iran has done nothing but fund terrorists all across the world to do absolutely horrific things globally. This is now Trump having the balls to go out there and ending this terroristic regime. Not the people, not the Iranian people. We're talking about the regime itself. Finally ending 4 decades of absolute hell, not only for the people, but for the people of the world. Welcome to The Breakdown, episode 1. Shoot, I was going with what time it is. The Breakdown, episode 676, sponsored by Midnight, also sponsored by Cake Wallet, Secure Wallet, and also look into Cake Pay. Cake Pay gives you some really good abilities to go ahead and make purchases. Vic and the entire Cake Wallet team did a really great job, by the way. Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the DG brand, along with The Breakdown. All right, guys. The question is, do you want to trade with me? Or do you want to see me trade? Do you want me to do Do you want me to try to see if I can go and make $1 million, $1 million trading? Do you guys want to see me attempt to do that? I think I can do it. Honestly, if I put my head to it, I can 100% do it. I have no problem doing it. It'll be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. Absolutely. It would be a tremendous time. It'll be like something that nobody's ever seen before. I'm using Trump's words. It'll be like something that nobody's ever seen before. Let me see something. Let me see. I'm actually also happy to be back on TikTok. I really am happy to be back on TikTok. To see all my friends on TikTok. To see my new family on TikTok. See, people are starting to slowly find. Yeah, I gotta say, again, I don't know the people at FOMO. The FOMO app, I don't know the people. But that is, I think they have a concept that, if well executed, will make crypto better. I think it will make crypto better, or it'll make people better traders. I really believe that. Not financial advice, it's all educational, but at the end of the day, I think they do have something going. Because I was looking it over yesterday. I joined and immediately people started following me. I haven't told anybody except today. Today I've said, like, if you guys want to join in, go ahead. Because I will go ahead and attempt to do it. I will find, one thing that I love doing is finding bangers out there. Finding things that could cook. That's right. Things that could cook. Things that could cook. I'm happy also. I'm also very happy that we are now seeing the markets look a little bit healthier. And, for me, the biggest thing is the markets are an emotional place. The markets are very emotional. We have a lot of emotional people here. We do. A lot of emotional people that, oh my God, there's so many people tuned in. Oh, a lot. TikTok's killing it. I'm telling you right now, every one of you social media platform, everywhere that I'm streaming, you're going to have to catch up to TikTok right now. TikTok is absolutely wiping the floor. Wiping the floor. Listen, if you're new to the broadcast, we talk about, we talk about finance, we talk about politics, okay? Sometimes it's more politics than it is finance, and sometimes it's more finance than it is politics. And we will talk about trending news. That is what the breakdown's for. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, one of the highest rated shows that you can find here, with one of the finest and most good-looking hosts that you will ever see in your goddamn life, okay? Brightest, smartest, youngest, not controlled by any narratives, speaks his mind, doesn't give a shit if you get offended. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to rage bait. This is what I'm thinking. And sometimes when I'm talking on here into this microphone, into this camera, I'm thinking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud and saying shit. And I don't apologize for it. I'm making men great again. I am literally making men great again. You know, I said this before. I don't know when it became cool to dress down. Just because we're in Web3, whatever you want to call this place, just because we're in crypto doesn't mean that you're going to dress up like it just came out of the laundry, okay? Out of the hamper and shit. No. Dress the part. We are the new mouthpiece for me, not only for finance, but for politics. But let's keep it on crypto. We are the new voice for finance. How many times have you heard me say this? CNBC, CNN, all these mainstream media channels, they can't go ahead and talk about crypto the way that I can, the way that we can. That's why I keep on saying I am the new mouthpiece for finance, because we've gone digital. I don't have a producer in my ear telling me I can't say something. I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. And it's not rage baiting. It's truth. I can easily go ahead and start pulling an Alex Jones or Fuentes or whoever to go ahead and up my numbers by 50x. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to say shit that I don't believe in. I don't want to talk about things that I do not believe in, just so my audience can go ahead and be 50 times greater. I am going the long route. I already have a phenomenal brand. It can be better and it will be better. I'm close. I feel it. I know it. I know it. The American people should be happy. The American people should be happy. By the way, the Clarity Act. Donald Trump finally came out and addressed the situation with the Clarity Act, with the Genius Act. Who the fuck? Where did the banks get this ability to tell us how we're going to pass a bill? You're telling me JP Morgan and all these goddamn banks are going to rewrite a bill that favors them, and we're going to pass this? A bill that does not favor retail? A bill that does not allow retail to make money on their money? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I don't want to pass this goddamn bill. Not in its current form. You want to pass the bill that was originally presented? Let's fucking go. You want to pass this goddamn bill that favors Jamie Dimon, who has called crypto dog shit for God knows how long? Fuck him. These people don't like us. These people hate retail. They want to tell us what's good for us. Why does everybody keep on telling us that they want to tell us what's good for us? They don't want to see us win. They don't want to see us win. They don't want to see retail succeed. They want retail working for them. They want to take our money that they have in their banks right now. They want to trade that money, which they are. They're trading our money, and they give us nothing in return for it. They give you a goddamn measly 0.3% on the money that you have in your savings account. It's dog shit because it's offset by your maintenance fee that you got to pay for your accounts because you have the privilege, air quotes, to bank with them. It's okay. I like DeFi better. Let's talk about DeFi. Because if you pass that bill, you kill DeFi. You pass that bill, you're going to kill DeFi. You're going to kill everything that we have all worked our asses for within this goddamn industry if you pass that goddamn bill. And stop saying, well, let's pass a bill and then we'll amend it. You will not get it amended. And if you do, it's going to take centuries to go ahead and get anything done. Because you're going to have different politicians that take seats in the House, in the Senate, and there's going to be holdups. And there might be a different president. Hopefully, for the next 20 years, it's just MAGA at this point, because MAGA brings common sense. But I'm saying anything can happen. Democrat gets in office. Democrats control the Senate. Democrats get into control of the House. All they're going to do is make sure that they take care of their goddamn friends in the banking system. That is the truth. You guys do not understand that we need to step up and we got to stand together as retail and not allow for some shit like this to happen. I don't care who says what. I know 100% for a fact, we go ahead and pass this bill, it helps the banking industry. It does not help the retail consumer, okay? It does not help the people that want to unbank themselves. The banks are the problem. You know, Jamie Dimon wants to sit there and talk a good game. Talk about they follow all these rules. You don't follow anything because you guys are willing to go ahead and do things that aren't kosher speculation. But if you look up files and past history, you guys have paid $5 billion, $5 million, $10 million in fines for doing shit. Wells Fargo created what? Fake ass accounts? And you guys want us to believe in the banks? The banks who got a bailout from the taxpayer, and in return we got nothing? Credit lines were decreased on people who had 800 credit scores? Bank accounts were shut down for no reason? With no reason. What are we talking about? We don't want to work with the banks. The banks aren't your friends. We're bailing out the banks, and now we got to write up or we got to support a bill that favors the banks so they can make more. Do you know how much money the banks make? Do you know how much money they make per second? And they can't give us more percent. They can't incentivize people, not just big money make. They can't even incentivize real, regular, normal retail consumers, man. The banks do not want to see regular, normal people make it in this world. The system does not want you to make it, because if you make it, that means that is one less worker for them to have in a cubicle. That's why they're also scared of AI and AI agents. Listen, you can have your theories and you can have your thoughts on AI and AI agents and AGI and all this shit. But you know what? It is giving people an opportunity to become an entrepreneur. It is helping people take an idea that they had for, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years, decades, and they're able to express it to this AI agent, and this AI agent is able to go ahead and spin up this shit. And people are now incentivized to become entrepreneurs with this new technology. Now, listen, this definitely has no fucking rails to it, man. This tech has absolutely no chains to it at all, man. We know where there's a setting. Terminator, iRobot, I see it already. You know, you guys will probably wave the hand at me, but you also didn't think we would have electric cars. You didn't think we would have the infrastructure, and look at Tesla. Okay. You didn't think that we would actually have robots. Look at Tesla. This guy says, why is the flag so dirty? Not understanding. By the way, the background, we have a flag. Could have got a nice shiny flag. But this flag represents something. But I know you failed history. You've never studied anything in America. You don't understand what it symbolizes, having that dirt on it. And yes, it was manufactured that way. Welcome to The Breakdown, episode 676. I'm going to, I bought something already on, I've already bought something on the FOMO app. So we were talking earlier today about, hey, wouldn't it be cool for me to find things, find digital assets to go into and work my way from, let's say, whatever, $500 to $1 million. Do you guys on the TikTok chat right now, TikTok, tell me, do you think that I can go ahead and take $500 and turn it into $1 million? I want to see if you guys think I can go ahead and do that. I will be waiting, looking at this chat right now to see if you guys think that I can do that. If I can, I'll be doing it on the FOMO app. No, I don't have any relationship with them. I don't have a paid sponsorship with them. I just think that they have a really cool fucking idea out here. I think if it's executed correctly, if the team really executes here, I think it could be something special. You guys can watch me on there as I go into different things. I already went into one thing, and I really think it's going to be successful. I really think that the first thing that I've gone into, I think it's going to be absolutely successful. If the team's serious, if the community gets behind it, if people understand the meme, because of course I went into a meme. You can go to my bio right now and you can follow me, and it's the same handle that I have on TikTok. It's the same handle that I have on Twitter. You can go ahead and follow me and see what I'm doing. I am trying to get #1 on the leaderboard as well. So for me, it's not really all about the money. It's not that money's nice, but it's for me, I want to be #1. I am competitive, man. If you have not watched this show, I am absolutely insanely competitive. I just want the #1 spot. Right now, I'm now #1. I'm going to tell you what I'm at right now. I'm going to tell you where I am right now in terms of, let's see, where am I at right now? My ranking out of like 50 or 80,000 people, I am ranked 890. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. I got to do a much better job. Unacceptable, though. I got to be #1. I have to be #1. I have to be #1. I'll make sure that's going to happen. I'm looking through the feed right now. Looking through the feed right now. Let's see. By the way, breaking news. Landy, thank you very much. Breaking news. The White House, 33 minutes ago, the White House. Spain has agreed to cooperate with the U.S. military. So now, fuck around, find out. Spain has now agreed to allow the United States of America to use its bases so the United States of America can whip that candy ass, and that candy ass is Iran. The regime, not the people. China is now ready to promote comprehensive dialogue with the U.S. across all levels. Do you understand what Trump is doing? Do you guys understand what is happening? Spain trying to fuck around, find out. So Trump said, you know what? We're not trading with you no more. You can go fuck yourselves. And what happened? 2 days later, you can use our bases. China now wants to come to the table. China wants to now talk about everything. comprehensively talk about every single thing. Do you understand what the United States of America has done here? Do you understand what the Trump administration is trying to do here? We are not being led by a weak administration that bows down to anybody. The United States of America has never bowed down to anybody and will never bow down to anybody. We are finally seeing a resurgence in our country with a real leader, whether you like him or not. We have a leader with a fucking pulse, with a pair of balls that is willing to make America great again. You might not like everything, and I don't like everything either. Maybe 5 to 10% of the things that are done I might not like or I don't understand. But when you watch America right now, you are proud to be an American. Not everything is going to be fucking great, okay? Not everything's going to be great from the start either. But I can almost guarantee in 4 years after Donald Trump is done with his presidency, that America will be better for it. By the way, this is not anger. This is not me. I'm just passionate. The passion's coming out. I love this country. I've watched this country go backwards for no reason because of agendas that are coming from the elites. The elites with their agendas. The elites have done everything in their power to make America soft. America has been soft for a very long time. There's a reason why 77 million people voted for change. And a lot of it was for common sense, the economy, obviously, but also relationships. We had no relationships. Nobody took us seriously. All these countries were doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do. China was just running game on us. Russia didn't give a fuck what the United States had to say. Somebody just asked, who are the elites? We don't know who the elites are. That's the problem. You won't ever know who they are. You don't ever know who is pushing these agendas behind the curtain. They run shit. They're not front facing figures, man. They're not going to come out here and take credit for anything. They do it in their best interest. They do it to protect their wealth. They do it to obviously obtain more wealth. We will never have a president like Donald Trump ever again. We will never have a president like Donald Trump again. And the problem is, I'm going to tell you what the fucking problem is. New Yorkers understand the vibes. New Yorkers understand Trump's mentality. They do. Us New Yorkers, people who were born in New York, we understand. We understand him. I understand him. You will not make it in New York if you are any sort of weak ass individual. Any weakness in New York City, you are done. Trump has battled everybody imaginable to build his businesses. By the way, Trump has been talking about Iran for 30 years. 30 years, there's clips, 30 years. Trump for 40 years has been talking about how other countries have abused the United States of America. once again, I'm looking at comments being posted right now. People saying Donald Trump got his money from daddy. Donald Trump. You can go ahead and come up with every single fucking theory that'll make you sleep better at night. Donald Trump will go down, and you can twist and turn. But Donald Trump, when all is said and done, he will go down as one of the greatest presidents of all time. And every single MAGA head, I'm gonna say this right now, and you're more than happy to come on to the show. Every single one of these MAGA heads that has made a career out of milking Donald Trump and the MAGA brand and its policies, every single one of you guys are no better than the liberals that have not allowed Trump to do a single thing. It's true. It is absolutely fucking true. You fake ass MAGA people. Fake ass MAGA people. Just milk the brand so you can go ahead and build your brand. Here's a comment from a liberal. Trump is accelerating the downfall of this empire. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? This person probably thinks that Kamala Harris was the solution. White men for Kamala. Can you imagine? What are we talking about? White men for Kamala Harris. What was it? White boys or white men? What was it? See, it's easy. It is so easy to go ahead and these MAGA people, some of these influencers, they're mad fake. You watch them, they are absolutely fake, man. For just clicks and retweets and to make their brands a little bit out, to prop up their brands a bit, they are willing to turn on the person who is trying to bring common sense back to our country, trying to bring respect back to our country. Unreal. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we build Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Welcome back to the Breakdown, episode 676. People will say that I'm not wrong about what I said. I am not wrong about what I said. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican, independent. I always say this. The party affiliation needs to be put to the side. America is what comes first. This country is what comes first. That is where we have lost sight. Yeah, and yes, the Democrats and Republicans, most of them, you know what? I don't know how many, but some of them are shitty. Okay. Like Lindsey Graham, all he wants is to go to war. I don't agree with that. This man just wants war. Yesterday, he talked about, hey, let's go ahead and go after Libya. No, not Libya, Lebanon. No, Lindsey. Okay. And you guys are going to keep on going. You know, I wish the Democrats and liberals were this passionate about the Epstein files when Biden was in office. Because Biden for 4 years had the Epstein files. Why weren't you this goddamn passionate about it? You don't give a fuck about the victims. You really don't. So let's call for what it is. And Trump, it's already been asserted. If Trump did anything wrong, the Democrats would have used it and Trump would have never got elected into office. I would have never voted for Trump if he was involved in any sort of crazy ass if he did anything that you guys put out there, I'm telling you right now, not a single person would have supported Trump. Okay? So you guys, you can keep on pushing what CNN and fucking MSNBC has told you to go ahead and push out there. And ABC or whoever else. But if Trump was in those files doing anything nasty, anything perverted, or touching kids in any sort of way, you can bet your bottom dollar line that he would never, ever, he would not get my vote. And now I see somebody that is in my chat saying, well, he has 34 felony. Let me say something. You guys weaponize the system. You weaponize the system to go against Donald Trump. The banks said they had absolutely no problem with Donald Trump. You guys weaponized the system. Because the Democrats thought, okay, we're going to get this. We're going to push this and get this done. Judge wasn't in Trump's favor. Nothing was in Trump's favor. You took the former president at that time and you try to go ahead and destroy him. And people saw it. The problem is, here's what backfired on the Democrats. People saw what you were doing. People saw the bullshit, the weaponization of the legal system towards a former president. They saw this. They watched it in 4K. Do not think people didn't wake up. Democrats decided to vote for a Republican. Democrats decided to vote for Trump. People from your own party decided to vote for Trump. And yes, the news is fake. 90% of the news that's out here is fake. It is absolutely bullshit. You caught it in Austin, Texas, with the CBS reporter being told not to go ahead and report on the celebration of Iranian people, celebrating. Yeah, that's fake news. You had MSNBC say that Trump did things that he never did. Their asses got sued. ABC said things about Trump that he never did. Their asses got sued. The BBC's next because they went ahead and clipped up and edited January 6th to make it seem like Trump told everybody to go ahead and do what they needed to do to go ahead and damage the Capitol. They're being sued. I love it. I love the whole, oh, it's not fake. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, 100% it is. And we all know mainstream media, 90% of the motherfucker is owned by liberals and Democrats. We know it. We know it. That's why people aren't tuning into the news. That's why these shows have low ratings now, because people are tuning into people like me and others that are holding shows on social media platforms. They're tuning into us for information. because we ain't owned, or at least I can say I'm not owned by anybody. Russia ain't paying me. Israel ain't paying me. I'm not a part of APEC or OPEC. I'm not part of Big Pharma. I don't give a fuck about any of these people. Trump has gave you the Epstein files. He signed off. No other president did, but Trump did sign off to release the Epstein files. Was it delivered? The initial delivering of the Epstein files, was it good? No, absolute fucking chaos. Not from Trump's part. Trump said, give him the goddamn Epstein files. Go for it. Bill Clinton is literally on record saying he has no knowledge of Trump doing anything. He has never had a conversation with Trump about Epstein and him doing anything. Like, Bill Clinton is on oath. And I know a lot of people will say, well, hold on, he lied before. Bill Clinton is telling the American people, and trust me, Bill Clinton has every bone in his body to go ahead and say, you know what? Trump did do things. Bill Clinton is telling the American people, and I know it's bugging the shit out of Democrats and liberals, but Bill Clinton, because then the liberal channels are not playing this, by the way. They are making sure not to play the clip of Bill Clinton saying that Trump didn't do shit. It is bothering you that Bill Clinton had the opportunity to throw Trump under the bus, to say something bad about Trump, because Trump has said nothing but bad things about Bill Clinton and Hillary. He has given them, like, he's acknowledged that, you know, Hillary is a beast in the paint when it comes to politics, but he said bad things about them. And they still chose not to go ahead and make up a lie about the man. You guys want to, first of all, if you guys care so much about the victims, I don't want to know the victims' names. I don't want the victims to be politicized out here. What I want to see is the evil ass son of a bitches that were a part of this ring taken care of, and that is arrested. And you know what? That takes time. You got to let the fucking 3-letter agencies work. You guys want everything immediately, and you don't even give a fuck. Like, you don't give a fuck about this issue. But the people that do care, they have to take their time to go ahead and go through everything in order to do something. You don't just arrest somebody for no reason. That's what you guys want. We will say this again because I think a lot of people are hard-headed when it comes to this subject. Democrats, listen carefully. Liberals, listen carefully. If Donald Trump did anything, he would have not been president. He would have never been the 47th president of the United States of America. The Democrats would have pushed that shit out there for the American people. They had the files. They know everything that's in the files. They would have put it out there. Guess what? There is nothing. Nothing. And that's why you're mad. That you guys can't find anything on this guy. You can't find, instead of saying, you know what, we finally have a president back in office. Yes, I don't like Trump because he's arrogant. He got an ego. You can say that. Fine. Not everybody you meet you're going to like. There are people that don't like me. And they don't even have a reason. They just don't like me. They don't like the way my hair looks. They don't like the way my face looks. They don't like my expressions. They think I'm arrogant. It is what it is. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to like you. But you guys, it's the same thing with Trump. You just don't like him because you've been brainwashed by the mainstream media to believe that he's the next coming of Hitler. That he's the next coming of Hitler. That he's a king. A king. He's a dictator. What dictator would let you protest without any repercussions? You guys don't even know what a dictatorship is. You guys are too privileged. You live in the United States of America. You've never lived under a dictatorship. You don't know what they do to you. They would never let you protest in the streets. What do you think? You think the cops would actually allow you to go ahead and stand there and belittle the goddamn leader of the free world without consequences? Have you seen what fucking Putin does to his people? Have you seen what China does? You sit in here, no kings, no kings. What are you fucking talking about? What king? What king? What king are you talking about? You guys are fucking delusional. You guys are absolutely fucking delusional. You've lost your minds. That's why people voted for Trump, because you lost your minds. You've absolutely, you and the Democrats used to work for the poor. Now they work for the rich. They are everything they said that the Republicans were. Now they are that. They work for the interests of special interests. That's who the Democrats are. I don't want to label every one of them because you have a lot of Senator Fettermans out there that are logical, that will agree to disagree, but they understand. The Democrats are probably going to kick out Fetterman because he's using common sense. They're probably going to get rid of him. The Democrats are the same people they said that the Republican Party is. The Democrats work in the best interest of Big Pharma. I can name it all out. And it's the truth. Right now we have almost 400 plus people on here listening to me on TikTok, knowing that I am spitting facts. The Democrats used to be the party of the people. And what I mean by that is, Democrats used to be all about how can we help the unfortunate, how can we help the poors, okay? How can we give people opportunities? Now, the Democrats are all about how do we make sure the people that fund us, the special interests that fund us, how do we take care of them? The Republican Party now is the common sense party, which is looking out for the best interests of the American people. It's flipped. It's absolutely flipped. And you can't see it because you like pronouns. That's the problem. You want more than two pronouns. That is the problem that we have. The biggest problem that we have as Americans, though, because I don't like to be decisive and divisive and divide, okay? The biggest problem that we have is that the American people, regardless of what side you're on in terms of politically, America comes first. America comes first. This country comes first. We need to do everything possible to make sure that this country continues to grow and level up, this great country. That we take care of our veterans. We take care of our homeless situation, that we have a infrastructure. We take care of all of that, our economy. We take care of us, no longer taking care of China and funding China. You guys want to say tariff this, tariff that. You know why? We need tariffs in order to bring order back. We need tariffs in order to bring common sense and order back. We have been funding China. Cheap ass products have been coming to our country. We have been funding China. We've been funding their military. They have been getting money from us because we have pushed businesses to put their factories out there in China and also buy from China and have China produce based on cheap labor to save money instead of giving jobs and creating jobs here in the private sector for the American people. We've given jobs out to India and China and everybody else who fucking hates us, who have put massive tariffs on our items that are created in the United States of America that we cannot ship over to any other country, not due to the fact that the cars look ugly, but it's because they got a goddamn tax on a goddamn tax on a goddamn tax and a tariff to make sure that there is no level playing field for the United States of America. And you guys are sitting there, oh, the tariffs though. Well, you know what? Short-term pain, long-term gains. And you know what? The private sector is doing better. More people are starting to say, you know what? We can build a business here. More big businesses are bringing back their businesses. You got outside interests that are starting to invest into the United States of America. But yet, we have liberals and Democrats that are going out to the streets. They are protesting for a dictator named... Which dictator should I start with? I just had to pause real quick because I can start with all the dictators. Venezuela, we went ahead and freed the people. Obviously, there's interest for the United States of America in there as well. There's 100% interest. Oil. But at the same time, in return, we free the people. And you guys were protesting for Maduro. Liberals in the streets. You don't know nothing about Venezuela. You're protesting. Let Maduro go. You got Democrats that are saying it was illegal to take Maduro, who was really not elected by the people. He was a criminal. You guys are saying we can't do this. What are you talking about? Drug trafficking, all this bullshit that he did. Democrats, liberals are protesting for a guy they don't know, for a guy who has done nothing but torture the Venezuelan people, man, that made 9 million of them fucking run away from the goddamn country. Wild. And then now you guys were standing with this evil regime in Iran. You're, oh my God, we can't do this. I love The View. The View is great. The View, the girls on The View talking about this situation, saying Trump is doing illegal actions. Meanwhile, Obama did more of these operations. Bill Clinton, Bush did. They don't mention that, but when there was a host on there, a co-host or a guest host, they went ahead and made mention of it. Whoopi Goldberg went straight to fucking commercial with it. It's crazy. 40,000 or 30 to 40,000 people were killed in 3 to 4 weeks of protesting. Not a single person that cares about human rights was out there in the streets talking about this. Not a single person protesting about human rights talked about this. The professors in universities aren't talking about this because that's an agenda that does not benefit them. That's the problem. And to see these MAGA influencers or former MAGA influencers getting on Donald Trump, making up these bullshit fucking lies and speculating that Israel fucking runs the United States of America. Do you know who Donald Trump is? He will kick Bibi out the motherfucking White House. He doesn't give a fuck. He ain't gonna let anybody tell him what to do. You actually believe, it's crazy because Israelis believe that the United States runs Israel, and Americans who are brainwashed believe that Israel runs the United States of America. You talk about AIPAC. AIPAC is probably like one of the most smallest donators to Congress. Go look up the real donators. Go look up why prescription drugs are so fucking high. That's hilarious. Hilarious. This is not a Democrat or Republican thing. This is an American thing. See it for what it is. You guys are going to say, oh, he's saying that because he's Jewish. No, I'm telling you. I've already said multiple times, I'm not the biggest fan of Bibi. But I can acknowledge Israel does not run America. Whatever they say, it's not true. It's a way to divide. It's a way to divide. That's all it is. It's a way to divide the people of the United States of America. It's cause anti-Semitism. Jews have been through this, so no Jew really gives a fuck at this point. You know what? Some guy just said MAGA fondly caring or pretending to care about Iranians. Let me say something. Number one, I obviously have DNA from the Middle East in me, man. Besides having Russian DNA in me, besides having Middle Eastern DNA in me, I can talk about these topics. I care about people in general, regardless of where they're from. If you're actually a human being with a fucking soul, you care about fucking people. You know, war is terrible. War is terrible. 100% terrible. They'll ask me, do I care about the children of Gaza? Let me say something. I've said it so many times. I was probably the only person on social media with my platform on X, known as Twitter, that was talking about the Palestinian people, was talking about Gaza, that was trying to bring the Israelis, I'm talking about on social media, the Israelis and the Palestinians together. While you guys want to separate, I'd like to see a united front. I would like to see what I know happens in Israel, and that is Palestinians, people from Gaza are friends with the Israelis and vice versa. You guys don't see it because you watch the news. You've never been to Israel. You've never seen it. Okay? You've never seen it, but you talk about it. You talk about it because Rachel Maddow or whoever went ahead and pushed that agenda onto you. But there will be nothing more. It would be an awesome feeling to see that region finally find peace. There was in 1981, there was an opportunity, or 1984, it was either or. There was an opportunity to, or was it 1994? But unfortunately, when there was about to be a peace between the two tribes, because they are cousins, the prime minister of Israel was assassinated. Somebody let me know. But you know what? If you're going to talk about Gaza, I want you to talk about the Iranian people, that the 30 to 40,000 that were killed in a span of 3 weeks. I want you to talk about the Iranian people, because since you're all about free Palestine and all that stuff, I want you to talk about the Iranian people as well, who have been living under a terroristic regime for 4 decades. I want you to talk about the last 3 weeks. 40,000 people were killed, if not more. I want you to have the same energy. Don't pick and choose what the media wants you to fucking talk about. Hamas isn't good, okay? Hamas is not good. Hamas is the fucking problem. Hamas literally came out and stated, we are going to put our people, we have to, you can play the tape. They put that they need to go ahead and put their people out there. And their people need to make that sacrifice. The Palestinian people need to sacrifice themselves for the better good. That was Hamas and the leader. What was the leader's name that got killed? They literally put that out there. Both sides have suffered. Yes, it is a I want it to end immediately. 100%. Would love to see the shit end ASAP, today, yesterday. I don't know if you heard me. I don't support war. War is the last resort. How do you fight terrorists? How do you fight terrorists who want nothing more than to destroy people? How do you fight that? You don't have the answer, because the only answer is you got to take them out. And unfortunately, they put innocent people in the front lines. That's it. I won't win this conversation. Like, there's no way for me to win this conversation. It's not because I'm not dropping facts. It's because people are brainwashed. People are brainwashed into believing something, and they will not be willing to listen to a different perspective because of the brainwashing. That's it. It's bottom line. I've never seen the United States of America not back its leader. Obama, Democrat. I backed Obama, okay? When Obama said that we need to take operations on, something, backed him. There's a lot of, you know what? Obama did some good things. He did some bad things. But at the end of the day, I would never, it's kind of like you got to keep it in-house, right? If you don't have something good to say, you don't say it publicly to people. You don't go out there and say, oh, Obama's a shit. No, you're putting down your president. Same thing with Joe Biden. I didn't talk shit about Joe Biden. I wouldn't participate in a conversation that would belittle Joe Biden internationally. Publicly, yeah. I host a show. I feel bad for Joe Biden. He was put in a really bad position. They knew exactly what was happening with him. He was losing his mind. They didn't give a fuck. They pushed him out there, okay? 80, the most votes ever, right? Biden got 88 million votes or some shit like that. The most votes ever. Come on. Biden did not get 88 million votes. Let's be serious. Let's be fucking serious, man. Biden did not get 8. Democrats got to you got to sit back, man, and say yo, this, come on. For 4 years, it was a fucking shit show. We don't know who the fuck was running the goddamn country. Nobody knows who the fuck was running the country. And then Kamala Harris, that's who you wanted to vote for? You wanted to bring Kamala Harris and Tim Walz? Tim Walz, who every single time he lied, he said it was a misunderstanding? This is who you wanted as the vice president? Happy hands? Dancing feet? Tim Walz, this is who you wanted? Have you seen what's happening with Minnesota? Have you checked on Minnesota lately? Somebody just said, do you know who's running this country? Yeah. You know who's running this country? Donald Trump. And you can see it. And you don't got to like it. But guess what? Guess what? More investments are coming into the United States of America. We are now friendly with countries. He is reshaping the board right now. He has now exposed the elites that you guys wanted to talk about. He's exposed them. France, the UK, who is not going to participate with the United States of America. He has exposed the allies, NATO, okay? He has exposed some of these people within NATO, the UE, all of these people, for who they are. Kamala Harris is laughing because she's drunk. There was a comment on Twitter, not on Twitter, on TikTok. Kamala Harris is laughing. Yeah, she's laughing because she's at a bar right now, eating peanuts with her drink. You guys really hate America. You guys really, if Kamala Harris was the president of the United States of America, yeah, oh my God, we would have. You want to talk about the empire just going to fucking zero? Absolutely. Kamala Harris, I could not even understand. You would ask Kamala Harris, hey, Kamala, where were you born? And she'd go into some tangent. I don't even know what she's talking about. Oprah. You remember when she went on Oprah? Oprah was fucking confused. Oprah went ahead and endorsed Kamala Harris. She has her on a one-on-one, and Oprah's even fucking confused. She asked her softball questions. She couldn't answer them. And she's laughing. And she looks like she just drank, like she drank like 9 bottles of wine. Coming from a middle-class family, you know, no, we don't know. We don't know. The debate, look what they did. They were actually going to put Biden back in charge. They were going to allow Biden to seek re-election until he came onto the stage to debate Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I gotta say, for the first time, held back because he saw what kind of condition Biden was in. Biden, I don't know what the fuck he was saying. Because Trump didn't either, because he said, I don't know what the fuck. Trump turned around and said, I have no clue what he's talking about. Nobody did. The entire country had no clue. And then Biden pulled one of the greatest political moves of all time. He said, you guys are going to make me not run for re-election, because in his mind, he still thought he can actually fucking operate. So he said, if you guys aren't going to let me seek re-election, no problem. I'm putting my vote behind Kamala. He fucked the Democratic Party. He fucked the Democratic Party. He fucked Obama. He said, fuck you to the Democrats. Fuck you, DNC. Fuck everybody. That's what he did. That is exactly what Biden did. With the little clarity that Biden had left, he went ahead and put on his glasses, just like this, and he said, because you know Biden loves aviators, he put on his Ray-Ban aviators and he said, you know what? You ain't gonna let me seek re-election? Well, fuck you. Hey, Kamala, you got my vote. Obama didn't even want to endorse Kamala. Nobody did. They were like, what the fuck is happening? And then it's almost like the Democrats purposely wanted, or the elites wanted her to lose because they give her Tim Walz. They put Tim Walz as vice president because they thought Tim Walz can relate with the average man. The average masculine man, Tim Walz, apparently was an icon. So they thought people like me could relate with Tim Walz. Tim Walz don't got balls. Are we kidding right now? Is this serious right now? Are we fucking serious here? They showed a commercial of Tim Walz fixing a car. It was so awkward for him to do that because he's never fixed the car. They had Tim Walz go out to hunt duck with a firearm, with a shotgun. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Oh my God, man. I can't. You know what it is? It's not, it has nothing to do about being a Republican. It doesn't. I could be a fucking independent for God knows. Because at the end of the day, you got to realize it's the Democrats are going to vote for a Democrat. The Republicans are going to vote for a Republican. It's the independents. It's the people in the middle that are undecided. They're the ones that play the major factor in who gets elected. The reason why Trump got elected, besides Charlie Kirk, besides, Scott, who is door to door, did a wonderful job in Pennsylvania, it's the independents that are on the fence. The libertarians, the independents, they're on the fence about who the fuck they want to vote for. By the way, it's so sad that Americans don't appreciate Donald Trump, but Europeans, the people of Europe, not the officials, the people of Europe and all the people across the world, they love Trump. Kamala Harris said that Trump would take away women's rights. You had a bunch of Democrats say that Trump would take away women's rights. Trump was the 45th president of the United States of America. What rights did he take away from women? Trump is now the president of the United States of America. What rights have been taken away from women? His chief of staff is a woman. Guys, you're fucking brainwashed. That's what I'm trying to say. The chief of staff is a woman. Somebody said abortion. That has been left up to the states to decide. It's no longer the federal government, it's the states. Now what? What other rights have been taken away? And if you want to have an abortion so badly, then you can find the state that goes ahead and does that procedure. So I ask again, which rights were taken away from women? Trump is surrounded by women. And women in big positions. The Attorney General, a woman. Tulsi Gabbard, a woman. Should we keep going? You don't have to like the... Listen, I know what the comeback's going to be. Well, they haven't done a good job. You can go ahead and fill out your scouting report on them and give your thoughts off. But you saying that Trump is taking away rights from women, meanwhile he's promoting women, is wild, and nothing has been taken away from women. Trump has protected women. from biological men entering women's sports. Meanwhile, Democrats were pushing men into women's sports. Make it make sense. Where's the common sense? You Democrats are, hey, let's talk about pronouns and let's talk about biological men playing in women's sports. Those were your top agendas. And you know what? Not all Democrats think this way. So like this is, I'm just generalizing here. I wish Congress was made up of a bunch of Senator Fettermans, man. Like, he gets it. He doesn't agree with everything the Republicans present, but he's willing to work towards some sort of solution that makes sense for the American people. He's for the American people first. That's what every Republican and Democrat should be. America first. You got Bernie Sanders. All he tweets out is about taxing billionaires. So basically, all the people that became billionaires or multimillionaires who worked their asses off their entire lives, you want to penalize them for creating jobs in the United States of America, and you want to penalize them for taking advantage of the opportunities presented in this country. That's what you want to do. How many more taxes can you add on to an individual? You want 90% of their net worth and then leaving them with 10. That doesn't make sense. And fuck socialism. How's it working out in New York City? Socialism doesn't work. Ask Cuba. Ask Russia about communism. Ask China how they're doing. Even though, you know what, I gotta say, China is thriving because they got that fake communism going on. They got that communism / capitalism happening. Crazy, man. Crazy. Wild. That's why I say Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, major. It's major. Matt said that Trump didn't pay taxes. Well, Trump worked the system. The exact system that was designed by both the Republicans and the Democrats. If you don't like that, vote for somebody that'll change the rules. See, everything that you guys say, I have an answer for, and it's factual. Everything you say is just something drummed up that you've heard on NPR, on CNBC, on MSNBC, whatever the fucking names are now, CNN. You're repeating, regurgitating everything that is being told to you by people that just hate life. I feel like some of these people just hate life. They wake up in the morning hating everything. Like, you really wanted your tax dollars, $20 billion, going off to research for transgender mice? Like, are we fucking serious right now, guys? Are we serious? You are okay with 20 million going off to research transgender mice? Like, I can't, man. This is crazy. We were sending millions of dollars to countries to teach countries about transgender people and shit. And we were sponsoring books. Yeah, I can't. I really can't. I'm losing my mind. Instead of using the money and giving it towards the infrastructure, helping the American people, helping out veterans, we're fucking sending money towards funding transgender mice. I don't get it. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. Maybe I'm dumb as fuck and my IQ is very low. Maybe that was the right move. Maybe we should go ahead with our taxpayer dollars fund This fucking cause. I don't know. This man thinks that you have to hold a degree to have an argument in a conversation. This is what I'm talking about. This is how fucked up in the head some people are. Because they can't win an argument, so they're like, well, what's your degree? I can name you every degree out. Now what? What does that matter? Wild. You know what it is? It's like Mandani, the New York mayor Mandani, how he got elected. He told everybody that everything would be free. That's why he got elected. He was youthful. Obviously, there weren't many candidates to go through. I mean, Cuomo, we know Cuomo, like you had Eric Adams, you had no Republican like to run. You had Mandani, youthful, young, charismatic. He is. I got to give him. I got to get him credit, man. And he said free. He said the word free. And you know what? Everybody is going to free? Free bus rides? Free this? Free that? I'm voting for free. Nothing's free. Nothing in life is free. Zero. Nothing in life is free. I am telling you, I ran for Congress. You know what? Sometimes I think about running, but then I find myself saying, you know what? I'm better suited here. I'm better suited with a mic in front of me, a camera in front of me, and having a show because I can get my message across to, I think I can get my message across to the American people better this way than I could if I went to Congress, because then you're fighting for decades to get any sort of fucking legislation passed that works out for the American people. I know in my heart, I would make a great representative, a great senator, and 100%, I say this with confidence, and a lot of you guys will say, what the fuck is he talking about? But I know I would have made a phenomenal president if I ran. Because I care about this country, regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican. I care for human beings, and I would try my best to go ahead and heal people and bring the country together. At the same time, bringing common sense and continuing common sense and continuing to make America the superpower that it is and level it up tenfold. So I love this country. I love this country. But the shit that we lived through, guys, the shit that we were living through, it was horrific. Let's call it for what it is. Stop being a Republican. Stop being a Democrat for a second. Just look at everything that was happening. It was absolute dog shit. It was horrific. I stayed an hour past the allotted time on this show to talk about this because I'm a passionate individual when it comes to the United States of America and also the freedom of others. Look at the UK. It is absolutely not what it was decades ago. The UK was a great country. What has happened? What has happened? Just look at the leadership. Look at leadership. It all comes down to leadership. If you have the wrong leadership, if you have a person in office that does not have a backbone, that does not care about the history of the country will fail. UK is failing because of its leadership. Look at all the countries that are failing. They are failing because they want to introduce this bullshit that the elites that are pushing, which is pronouns and, fucking... I could keep going, but I don't want to get my social media accounts taken away. I don't. But you know, Trump never had any ambition to run for president either. He was always asked the question, would he run? And he always said, if it was super necessary. Honestly, I would only run if it was super, super fucking necessary. I hope the younger generation steps up and has a clear mind and conscious and understands the history of the United States of America. I hope you guys step up and you make a difference. And I hope you run for office. I hope a lot of you guys with common sense run for office, regardless, Democrat, Republican. I hope you run for office and you understand that America is a great country. It is a great country. And there are systems in place, like immigration, right? There are systems that have been put into place for you to come here. My parents had a way to come into this country. They had a way to get their green card. They had a way to get, obviously to become U.S. citizen. They had a way. There was a fucking process. And there are policies in place. There's a process in place. And if you want to come to America, then you need to get in line and you need to follow procedures, okay? People coming into our country, okay, illegally, 15 million people using our resources, getting benefits that our own American citizens don't get, that's bullshit. Anyway, crypto is sending, my show is sending, the platforms are sending. I love TikTok. I missed you guys, man. What a phenomenal show today. Thank you for tuning in from Twitter. I appreciate you. Kick. I am now verified on Kick. I am a part of the Kick partner program now. I'll talk more about it by the end of the week. We are leveling up. I have more news coming on the way. I just can't announce it now, but I love you. God bless America. I don't give a fuck if you guys are a bunch of Democrats, liberals, or Republicans in this current room right now on TikTok. I don't care what you are. Okay. I don't care what you are in terms of party affiliation, watching me on any single one of these networks. I love you. I wish you nothing but good. I hope your families are good wealth being pushed your way, good karma only, all the time. God bless America. Okay. God bless everybody else as well. Okay. People should be free. People should be free. People should be able to live life to the fullest. I hope the Iranian people can do that after this is done, after the United States of America and Israel and its allies that choose to participate take out this horrific regime that has been in place of goddamn 4 decades. God bless America. God bless America, okay? Because right now, America not only is freeing people, but we will make sure that Iran and this regime no longer gets to fund terrorism all across the fucking world. That is a good thing. We are finishing a war, not starting one. And on that note, I'm out.